So what's up everybody, it is Miss Glover and I'm back again with another video. This week's video is going to be on multiplying and dividing rational numbers. So those rational numbers can be either positive, negative, whole numbers, fractions, or decimals, right? So we're going to work on this, but before we begin, I want you to know that they're not just positive numbers anymore. We have negatives involved. So I want you to listen to this short clip and we'll be back to discuss what that means, and we're probably going to work quite a few examples, not too many, but a few to get you going. All right, so pay attention to the short video for me and we'll be back.
Always positive. Multiplying integers with the same signs, get a positive product every time. And if the integers are different signs, let me guess, the product will be negative. Multiplying integers with the same signs, get a positive product every time. And if the integers are different signs, let me guess, the product will be negative.
So I don't know if y'all heard what he said, but he said that if you multiply integers with the same sign, you get a positive product every time, right? So if you multiply the same signs, like two negatives or two positives, you're gonna get a positive every time. Then he said, and if the integers have different signs, you're going to get a negative every time, right? So I don't know if y'all heard that, but that was actually some nice stuff, right? So if you multiply two positives or two negatives, you're going to get a positive every time. If you multiply something with different signs, so a positive and a negative, you're going to get a negative every time. So let's work out some examples real fast. All right, so I know y'all ready to work these examples, right? So let's hop right into it. So we know that same signs give us a positive, different signs give us a negative, and that's when you are multiplying and dividing rational numbers. So let's try this real simple example first. So we have 3 times 5, right? So I'm pretty sure everybody can do a mental math and dot, dot, dot. 3 times 5 is 15, right? So if you look at this, our 3 was positive, our 5 was positive. So they had the same sign, which gave us a positive 15. All right, so let's try a negative, right? So a negative 4 times a negative 3. Do they have the same signs? They do, right? So negative 4 times negative 3, same signs, gotta give us a positive 12. All right, so that's easy, but I wanna give you a challenge. So what if we had some fractions? Fractions may be hard and they may scare you, but actually, you gotta have the right mindset and realize they're not as hard as it looks. So let's get into it. So what if we had negative a half times negative 1/4? All right, so first of all, we gotta figure out if our number is gonna be positive or negative. So you're right, they have the same signs. So same signs give us a positive. And then when we multiply fractions straight across. So 1 times 1 is 1, 2 times 4 is 8. So what really happened was we just multiplied fractions, and then we had to see that, oh, they both were negative, so our answer is positive. All right, so that's pretty easy. So now let's try another one. So what if we had negative 2/3 times 1/3? This one is different, right? So we have a positive 1/3 and we have a negative 2/3. So they have different signs. So different signs is going to give us a negative, right? So different signs give us a negative. And we still multiply fractions straight across. So we know our answer is going to be negative because they have different signs. And when we multiply straight across, 2 times 1 is 2. And 3 times 3 is 9. So it's not as hard as it looks. The main thing I want you to remember that whenever you have the same signs, your answer is going to be positive. Whenever you have different signs, your answer is going to be negative. So it doesn't matter if it's a negative decimals, a positive decimal, negative fraction, positive decimal, or even whole numbers, right? As long as you understand that the same signs are positive and different signs are negative, you're good to go. Y'all almost let me forget to show y'all some dividing examples. So when we divide, and we doing the same thing. So everybody should know how to divide. If you don't, we're gonna work on those skills, right? So we're gonna divide fractions, maybe decimals, and maybe even whole numbers. So I'll give you like 3 examples, and then I'll let you really try to find out and practice by yourself. So we are dividing rational. So we know same signs again is positive, different signs again is negative. All right, so let's try this example. Negative 25 divided by 5. Negative 25 divided by 5. First of all, do they have the same sign? They don't. Different signs, so we gotta have a negative answer. Negative answer. Oops. Right? So once we go ahead and figure that out, 25 divided by 5 is 5. So our answer is just negative 5. Alright, so let's try another one. This time we have negative 2/4 divided by 1/3. So this is a fraction, so that means before we even do anything to the fraction, we gotta keep, change, and flip. So we're gonna keep the first negative 2/4, change the multiplication, and flip 1/3 to become 3/1. Alright, now we can go ahead and multiply our fractions because we know how to multiply fractions. Who don't, right? So first of all, same signs? Nope, different signs. So now different signs, our answer has to be negative. So 2 times 3, of course, that's 6. 4 times 1, of course, that's 4. And actually, we could simplify our answer, but I'm gonna leave it that way just so I can make sure I show you enough examples. All right, so we had 2 examples that we did, and both of our answers were negative because they both had different signs. So let's try one last example, and then you'll be free to try it on your own. All right, so this time I'm going to give you one, and it's going to be negative 8 divided by negative 2. Negative 8 divided by negative 2. Same signs or different signs? So yes, same signs. So our answer is going to be positive. So we're going to have a positive answer. And 8 divided by 2 is 4. Good job. So our answer is positive 4. So the same thing applies as long as you know how to multiply and divide fractions, multiply and divide whole numbers, multiply and divide decimals, you're actually good. Only thing you have to know is that same signs give you a positive, different signs give you a negative. Now, I want you to practice and try some examples on your own and let me know how you do, right? So go ahead and practice, and we'll be back later with another video from Miss Glover.